Welcome to Evolving Into Her. I'm Ashley Hope, and this is your weekly check-in to get out of your head, into your body, and back into alignment with the version of you who's already living the vision. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's get into the show. Hey sis, welcome back to another Sunday coffee chat. If you live somewhere where they observe daylight savings, I hope you enjoyed the extra hour of sleep. I hope that you're feeling good. And first things first, before we get into today's coffee chat, I just want to say thank you per usual for your DMs, for your emails, for your comments on Spotify, for your reviews on Apple. I see every single comment, DM, review, and just thank you. Thank you guys so much. It really affirms that I'm on the right path and that my ideal listener is tapping in and tuning in, that I'm reaching the women I intend to reach and that the message is resonating, it's landing, and that's the whole point. And if you haven't listened to episode 29 yet, go ahead and check it out when you have a moment. Remember, these chats, these Sunday coffee chats are timeless. I designed them that way. So you can always come back to them whenever your spirit needs a little peace or a reminder to just slow down and breathe. All right, so today's topic, I want to talk about something that's been with me for years. It's a little phrase that completely changed the way I live my life. And bear with me here, okay? I practiced. I hope I get this right. It's called joie de vivre. And y'all, excuse my French, literally. Side note, fun fact, I took French for 3 years in high school. And baby, it just don't click. And you really do lose it if you don't use it, okay? I'm more of a Spanish speaking girl. I love a little Espanol, okay? The French ain't really sticking. Joie de vivre. Okay, that's French speaking people. Don't cut me up. Okay, I tried, but it means the joy of living. Isn't that beautiful? When I first heard that phrase, I was in a season where everything felt like grind mode. I was always working. I was planning. It was always what's next. I used to be a really high achieving girly. Okay, I thought I had to earn my joy, that it came after success, that it came after growth, that it came after healing. But joie de vivre stopped me in my tracks. And it really made me think. And I was like, what if joy isn't something that I find later, after everything is done, after everything is achieved? What if it's something I can create now? And if you really pay attention to the French, girl, they live this so naturally. They slow down, they savor their coffee, they eat long, slow meals and have conversation and deep belly laughs. They make space for beauty and connection, not just on the weekends like we tend to do, but every day. And they move through life with ease and not so much urgency. And that's something I had to learn to do because for so long, and I didn't even know it, I lived in survival mode. And maybe you can relate. You wake up thinking about what needs to be done. You move fast. You check the boxes, but you rarely really feel your life, right? You just learn to manage it. And we do it well. We manage our lives well. But joie de vivre reminded me that life isn't meant to be managed. Baby, life is meant to be lived. And I didn't make some huge overhaul and some grandiose gestures to change my life. I started small. I made my coffee slow in the mornings and actually gave myself time to sip it slow and to savor it, to feel the warmth of the cup in my hands, to really savor that first sip of coffee, to really savor the smell of the coffee. I would light a candle and say a prayer before the day began. I took long walks outside without rushing anywhere, without any agenda. I allowed myself to explore and come across, new coffee shops or places I haven't been before. I played music while I cooked just to romanticize the process, bring joy to the process. So I would sing and dance to 90s R&B while I cooked a healthy lunch or a healthy dinner. I started texting my friends for no reason except to say, I love you, girl, or I'm just thinking about you. Yes, these are little things, but they change the energy of my days. And that's also when I started my Joy Bank. If you've been listening to the podcast, you probably remember episode 14. It's called Ride the Wave, Sis, the Power of Daily Joy Deposits. And I mentioned the Joy Bank in there. You can go back and listen to it if you want to. It's a good one. And so every day I write down one thing that brought me joy, just one thing. And it could be simple things like the way the sunlight streamed through my windows in the morning, a good hearty laugh that I had with a friend, a meal that made me just close my eyes and be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Or it could just be the simple piece of just knowing that I'm okay right now. And those small deposits to my joy bank, they really remind me that joy isn't random. It's a choice. Joy is a way of being. Joy is a heart posture. Joy is a lifestyle. And I feel like this needs to be said. Joy doesn't mean you're ignoring what's hard. It just means you're making room for what's still good because both can exist. Okay. You can be healing and still be happy. You can be in a waiting season and still be grateful. You can be growing and still be joyful right here, right now. And joie de vivre looks like giving yourself permission to enjoy your own life, not the one you're building, not the one you're planning, not the one you're evolving into, but the one you already have. So this week, I want you to practice the joy of being alive, the joy of being, joie de vivre. So slow down your mornings a little, whatever that looks like to you. Add beauty to your space. You can declutter. Get yourself some fresh flowers. Light your favorite candle just because. Put some fresh sheets on the bed. Buy a new plant. Play music that lifts your spirits and makes you dance a little. You can eat something that makes you smile. Bonus points if you cook yourself. Call a friend who makes you laugh. Write one joy deposit in your journal before going to bed. And that's it. Nothing deep, nothing extra. Just practice noticing the joy that's already available to you. Because when you train your eyes to look for joy, you start to realize that God has been leaving little reminders of his goodness everywhere. You just need to slow down enough to see them. All right, sis, before we close, I want to leave you with something to sit with this week. Y'all know I love journaling. It's one of the most powerful ways to slow your thoughts down and actually hear yourself. And when you put pen to paper, you give your emotions somewhere to land. You create space to see what's really going on in your heart. So as you move through your week, take a few moments to sit with these prompts. They're very simple, but don't rush it. Don't force yourself to fill the page. Don't force yourself to get all your feelings out in one sitting. Just let it unfold slowly. And prompt number 1, what does joie de vivre, the joy of living, what does that look like for you right now? Number 2, where have you been rushing through your life instead of experiencing it? And number 3, what are 3 simple ways you can make more room for joy this week? And so take your time with these. Let your heart answer, not your head. And you actually don't have to use pen and paper and write these out. I really love speaking the answers to these prompts out loud. And you can do that in your voice notes and just let whatever come up, come up. And I notice that when I do it that way, sometimes I end up talking to God. Sometimes I end up processing even more. And I love going back to listen to those voice notes. And this week, I want to leave you with a mantra. Feel free to write it down, reference it whenever you need it throughout the week. And the mantra for the week is, joy lives in me. I choose to see it. I choose to feel it. And I choose to create space for it every single day. My joy is sacred. My joy is overflowing. My joy is proof that I'm alive and connected to God's goodness. If you need to, rewind so you can write that down. Repeat it anytime you feel disconnected or if you feel heavy this week. Let it pull you back into gratitude, back to peace, back to yourself. Friend, I hope your week is filled with little glimmers and reminders of joy, the kind that make you breathe deeper, that make you smile softer, that make you move slower. May your mornings feel gentle. Okay. May your laughter come easy. May you notice God's goodness tucked inside the smallest corners of your day. And remember, you don't have to wait for everything to fall into place to feel good. You can experience the joy of living right here, right now, in the middle of your becoming, in the middle of your evolution, in the middle of your figuring it out, in the middle of your ordinary everyday moments. That's what joie de vivre really is. Choosing to live with open hands and an open heart and an open mind. It's finding beauty in the now and trusting that joy is allowed to exist even while you're evolving. So sis, take one deep breath in with me. Feel your belly, feel your diaphragm. Hold that breath at the top. Exhale through your mouth and gently unclench your jaw. You can soften your shoulders and just let yourself be. And let joy meet you where you are this week. Friend, I'll see you Tuesday for the next episode of Evolving Into Her, where we are diving into part 2 of the Get Out of Your Own Way series. And this one is called The Perfectionism Loop. You don't want to miss this one. Enjoy your Sunday, sis. I'm Ashley Hope, and you've been listening to Evolving Into Her. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for choosing her, for choosing yourself. And until next time, stay in devotion to your becoming.